And a lot of that is the key. When I started out this conversation, I said, a lot of this is in our hands. It's something that we have to do. We need to work to patronize black businesses. We need to try to find out where some of these black businesses and black professional businesses are. It needs to be more than just barbershops and hair salons. We need to find attorneys. We need to find people doing real estate. We need to find people doing insurance. We need to patronize places like this. We need to take the initiative to do it. We can do it. We've already proven that we can do it. Look what we did in 2012 when we were the highest voting bloc in the country. One thing that black people have going for each other is we stick together. If I remember when they had that discrimination issue with those kids in Genoa, Louisiana, and we dropped something like 3,000 or 4,000 people on the town of only 2,000. We bust them all down. The first Million Man March in 1995, I was there. Over 850,000 people in the mall. Black people stick together. You need to take advantage of that. You need to take advantage of that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's give a round of applause for Mr. Gus. All right. Once again, I'd like to say my name is Bo Sampson, and this is something that we're going to try to keep on doing. Next month, we're going to do it February 25th, 1 to 3. Bring your family, your friends, and the purpose of this is to network. So the next thing that I'm going to do before I bring the next person up is, how many of you guys got small businesses? Raise your hand. Okay? And what we're going to do, we're going to do a round robin. Well, we're going to have you come up to the mic, 2 minutes, and if you go past 2 minutes, I'm going to give you the Sandman. Talk about your business, where it's located, and what we can do to help. Okay? Who will be the first person to come up? This gentleman right here. Right there. I hope you don't like the Cowboys. Come on up here and talk about your business. Tell us about your business. How can we help you out? You're not from Dallas, are you? Okay.
My name is Manfred Herring, and this guy really put me on the spot. My name is Manfred Herring, and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I live here in the D.C. metropolitan area, and I'm a small business owner. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a small business owner, but I'm a network marketing company. We're a personal financial success company, and we help people to minimize their taxes, eliminate their debt, and build assets.
Hi, how are you? My name is Dr. Chantola Sherman. I'm the former editor over at the Washington Informer. I'm actually a historian, and I provide history lectures for black people who want to learn about their history. I start with eugenics, and I work the framework of race, women, and gender. I also train everyday people to be journalists, so you get to be the journalist within your own community. I have a small magazine called The Acumen Magazine. We teach you how to lay out, do graphics, edit, take photos, all that good stuff. And I've worked with Mark over here in the past. And we take any and everyone. There's no cost to it, but we just need people to come out and learn more about their own history.
Hi, my name is Joy Jefferson. I'm actually here to speak on behalf of my grandmother, Renella Lee. Her business is located about 6 doors down at 6217 3rd Street. She's a hat maker. She's been in business for over 60 years, and she's been located at that address since 1978. If you need a hat, go down the street. And also, I'll talk about a couple doors there. There's another young lady who has a business, Lovely Lady Boutique. It's a clothing business. She's been there for a while, I'm not sure how long, but it's also a black business.
Good afternoon. My name is Lawrence Adams, and I'm a professional network marketer. I'm not a conventional brick and mortar company. And the main advantage of that is I don't have the overhead that you have when you have a brick and mortar company. But also, network marketing, some of them maybe, just by show of hands, how many people know what network marketing is? Okay. So that's usually a good sign that, I'm not gonna say that. So network marketing, you do it every day. Okay, the gentleman talked about network marketing when he talked about that restaurant where it was so good, people went there. That's network marketing. word of mouth advertising. But what I do is actually in February, I was invited to join a company. Anyone ever heard of Fiji water? It comes in a square bottle?
Yes.
Okay, well, the creator of Fiji water created a company, and we were invited to take all of his products, not Fiji water, but some other products that he created on the island of Fiji called Wakaya, and market those things that have been promoted by Oprah Winfrey, and a lot of different companies that these products have made millions of dollars, and now they're in a network marketing company. We have sole control over it. Here's one of our products. You've heard of all the bad water around the country. Well, we actually created, we have this 15-year patent on this product. It's called a Bula bottle, all right? And what this does, it has a military-grade filter on it, and it also has a nutritional chamber where you can put NutriCaps in this, where you can nutrify yourself and hydrate yourself at the same time. The advantage there is, now I don't buy bottled water anymore, okay? And the advantage to that is, one, I've cut my costs. A lot of bottled water is really coming from the public source anyway, all right? And I found out that water, if you turn on the tap, it has a lot of impurities, but it also has, by show of hands, how many of you take your old medication and drop it in the toilet? Let's be honest, That's the main way people get rid of prescription drugs is to flush it down the toilet. It gets in the water system, and it comes right out of your tap water, and you're drinking somebody else's prescription medication, whether you want to admit that or not. This military-grade filter system takes all those products out of the water, all right? So this is the only way that I drink my water. In fact, I double filter it. I filter coming out of my faucet, and then I fill these bottles and carry them around with me, and I drink filtered water all day. And that's really all I drink is filtered water. I can't remember the last time I drank a soda or anything. But let me just make my story quick, because he's going to hook me in a minute here. My focus is helping our community to live healthy and live longer, okay? And that's why I got involved in this company, because that's really what we do. There's a lot of people that take medications for diabetes, high blood pressure, all these different things. If you just Google the turmeric and ginger and find out what the medical benefits of ginger and turmeric are, okay? The main thing that hooked me with this here was, one, it was a good friend of mine I've been in business with for 12 years. These are all multi-millionaires, and David Gilmour, who created Fiji Water, is a multi-billionaire. So when they invite you to come in and do something, you might want to take a look at it. So in February of this year, we were invited to get involved with this company called Wakaya Perfection. And he started growing pink Fijian ginger and turmeric on his island on Fiji Islands. They've both been scientifically proven to be the strongest ginger, 300% stronger than any other ginger you can buy. The turmeric is 5.9%, I like to say 600% more stronger than any other turmeric you can buy anywhere. And it comes from the Fiji Islands. So all I'm saying is that I have a marketing background, and my goal in life is to help our young kids to live healthy at a young age, and our older folks to enjoy the rest of their life without having to deal with medications and surgeries. I've had relatives that have amputations. I've known people who were scheduled. In fact, I interviewed Andrew Young. He was in Madison, Wisconsin 2 years ago, and I had a chance to interview him. And just from nutrition alone, he was able to avoid having double knee replacement. We're being marketed to death in so many different ways. And I learned from a business partner that was Martin Luther King's next goal, is to help us to stop being used as ATMs by the medical system, all right? Because a lot of people are taking medications that are causing more problems than what the original health issue is. I look like I'm 21, but I'm not, okay? I'm 61 years old, okay? I haven't taken any medication since 1988. And there's a reason for that. I'm not anybody special. I'm just a brother that keeps his ears and eyes open. I don't follow the herd. I stay away from, if the herd's going to the left, I'm running to the right, okay? And I'm gonna leave you with this here, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna leave you with this thought right here. Google Earl Nightingale. I'm also a mindset coach. I teach people how to get rid of their stinking thinking. Google this gentleman, Earl Nightingale, and look up his 1956 audio, The Strangest Secret. And the main point that you want to take away from that is that he asked a Nobel Prize winner what was wrong with men today. And in 1956, his conclusion was men don't think, okay? We don't think. And he determined that the opposite of courage is not fear, but being complacent. So you notice all these young boys running around with their pants down? That's just following the herd, okay? It's a herd mentality. Regardless whether they know it came from the prisons or not, they still want to do it. So all I'm saying is that take a look at, I'm not telling you don't do the brick and mortar, but look at other options. Be flexible, be fluid. Take a look at network marketing. Thank you so much.
Brother's trying to get rid of me. He told me he's going to put me on eBay so I can get married. Amen. Good afternoon, praise the Lord. This is the day the Lord has made. We're rejoicing and we're glad in it. My name is Reverend Yolanda Sampson, and I have a small business called Go Yo Worldwide. And we produce fun, educational products that encourage elementary age children to live for Jesus Christ. We have a book signing on next Saturday at John 3:16 bookstore. We're going to hand you out a flyer, and we have some comments on the back about what people are saying about our new product, Go Yo Forgive, in the mighty name of Jesus. So God bless you, and thank you for coming today.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Just want to say, my name is Ron Austin. I'm the chairman of the ANC 4B, which is this area, and this is my single living district. I have my vice chair with me, which is Andre Corley. And Bill Sloan used to be the vice chair before he moved from where he was living back to his parents' house. I like to say, a lot of stuff Bill was saying was very important for me to hear. I think it's very important. But I do want to say that blacks have controlled DC for a long time. And I have been kind of disappointed in it, but I say, anytime we as black leaders become and take the leadership role, we should have really stood out for our people. Our people have been in trouble for, through hard times for a long time. I haven't seen that with our elected officials. Where our elected officials are taking care of us. I say mostly they're taking care of themselves first, and then once they get out, you don't hear from them anymore. This is my last time serving as ANC commissioner. I lost my seat to a young lady named Natalie Snyder who worked hard. Much harder than I did, I didn't even walk down the campaign, but I was trying to do something else. What I did was open my own business up. And I went to Doug, talked to Doug, who was very helpful to me, who Doug takes takes after his father, because his father's name, Nat Sloan, Nate Sloan, right? Nate Sloan. Yes. Man, he was very active in the community back then. When I read his bio, he said he has a heck of a bio for some of the stuff that he has participated in, but that's why I see Doug. And I went to Doug and said, I'm looking for office. And look for a space in the office. I'm going to try to open up a non-profit and also a expedite, property expedite, help people get their business license and their license to build and stuff. So Doug said, Ron, I got an office in my building. You can come in my suite. You come up and since I've been working with Doug, I have got a lot of information from Doug, and he's been guiding me in the right direction to try to make my office successful. I just wanted to say that, as the ANC Commission, we did a resolution, Doug was in office at the time. We called it, a lot of people, they did gentrification. They look at gentrification like white folks that come in here and take it over. How many people feel like that's what's happening when you did gentrification? Can I see your hand? Well, I think we need to really understand what gentrification is. So when gentrification is not the white folks coming here taking over. White folks want to live in a comfortable place just like we do. Gentrification is our elected official who's that balancing out between the have and the have-nots, or the needs and the people who don't need, to make sure that they have a comfortable place to live. And that's what's going on today. We have, like Doug said, we have mostly Afro-American people out in the leadership role in the city. If you notice, on the council, I think we have seven Caucasian, and I think we have about 6 Afro-Americans on that. And if you look at the last time we had the zoning rewrite in this city, was, I can't think of how many years ago, but 1959? I think back then, Georgetown and, what is it, Detroit Park, and those places like that, well, and the Waterside Mall, and they were all, Afro-American people lived in most of those areas. If you know what's going on now, we have this zoning rewrite again now, and it's moving our people out of our community. And a lot of times we sit around, we talk. Black folks, we do a lot of talking. And I've been trying to be real about it, but I see those black people doing a lot of talking, but when it comes time for us to actually be happy, we don't get involved with each other. Unless there's some real tragic situation happen that forces it out there. And we should be allowing that to happen. You take for instance here, and I think what brought Bo about doing what he's doing today was Bo's father, Samson's father can bring his place for a long time. To be honest with you, Bo's father got the idea of his place from me. I'm gonna tell you how he got that idea. I was working in this community since I was 14 years old. I don't know if anybody remembers. But his father was real good with this community. I remember when I got married, I did my reception right here. And I don't know if anybody know how the place used to look before when both Santa Father had it. But just like you said, it was a real nice place. And you know, the head table was right up in. And I'm separated now. I need to blame it on probably both fathers for me. Let me get married anyway, but he encouraged when I came back anyway. But what I said both fathers got an idea for me was, he was in the corner selling vacuums and coffee and things like that. And this place just one time was a funeral home. And the funeral home was put out in the street. And that was the first time I ever seen a funeral home. I was working for a little guy named Leroy Turk Gilmore. I don't even know if anybody knows. He was the neighborhood planning council person. I was the youth chairman. So back at that time, we couldn't go that far from our neighborhood. And my mom didn't mind us walking there into the store. But we couldn't go up to the Como or any other person. It was too far away. So I came down here and saw this place was open. I went down the street and talked to Mr. Sanders. I said, Mr. Sanders, you know who owns this building right here? He said, no. Why you want to know that anyway? I said, man, we can use that building for a community center. You know, that big part right here will be our recreation center, and this section up here will be our office for the, the people who's running the facility. He said, well, I don't know who owns that place. 2 months later, I came and see ambulance written up in the house. Now, the Sanders, I came to talk to Sanders. Man, this is what I want to do with the place. And, man, it was still, we all remained good friends. We was always good with me. While he was taking took care of this community, never, like you see in all these places where they have establishment set up like this is not a club. So I don't want to call it a club. You see a lot of activities happening, a lot of things happening. This place been here since 1978. And there's never been any type of shooting or traffic. Because Mr. Sanders was very selective about who came into this place. And his father was the same way, was very selective about who came in. But I think what happened was, Bo, when he came in, he remodeled the place, brought it up to date, which looked very good. This is our only hall in this area that you can go to and don't have to go out to Maryland and keep running back and forth out of Maryland and put on your event. You can come right here and do something. But what happened was he wanted to do a liquor license. And, once you get a liquor license, you can't, it's not like he will be out the street selling liquor, beer, and wine. When the people in the community found, some of the new folks who moved neighborhood, found out that he was trying to get a liquor license, they put a lot of propaganda out on the street. And we had our first ANC meeting. I was proud of the people in this community because they came out, people that have been in the community for a long time, to support the Sampson with their liquor license. And our mayor, Bauer, she was a council member at the time. She was walking in the neighborhood and she was campaigning to be the mayor of the city. It was two Caucasian guys living in this block. She went to their house. They were David Catania's supporters. And they had really told me the mayor was done. She was going to get elected, and he wanted her out of office. They wanted her out of office. Mayor I was working with her at the time. When she came to the neighborhood that day, I was walking with her that day. And I explained to her what was going on with the liquor license and actually not to get involved, let it work into the community, because the community was working with Bo, and everything's going pretty good. She spoke with these two guys, they right here across the street on Brenda. I don't tell you where the address is, but she spoke with them. And the next thing I know, they had her sign in the yard. Then she went back to her office, and I know how it works, 'cause I did many years down the council, and Janice will tell you that. Number of years with our fitness office. Anytime a council member or a mayor gets called on one of those boards, or the agency that's got to make a decision, and start asking questions about a particular situation, then the person on the other line will say, what, is something wrong? Y'all don't want to have a license? You ain't telling them no, but you do tell them no. You don't say no, we don't want them, you don't start off with a conversation like that. And that's like a signal to them. And then the first thing they did, that's what happened in this case, they called downtown from Merrill's council office and questioned them about both and them getting their liquor license. And then the next thing you know, when we went down to the hearing, they pulled they kept them from getting a license. You know, and it really shouldn't happen like that. So that's been really under Bo's, have really been involved in Bo for a long time. Involved the rest of the community, a lot of community wanted to get the license. You know, and I'm only saying that because everybody needs to know what really happened. And everybody needs to know that it's time for us to start holding these council members, responsible for our future, for what they're doing. They make a decision that affect us. And it's sorry, the ANC, don't know if any of y'all familiar with the ANC, but the ANC is a good place to get involved. Because that's when you get the stuff that affect you being voted on right here in your community. And the stronger, if they see that you have this kind of support, because I mean, this has been shown for today. We hope we get more people coming on out, and the business community need to get together, but the business community does the same. Corner property like this is what these developers are interested in. They would love to come here and build residential units over top of this location here. I'm telling you what the guy told me around the corner when I was telling him about going and getting a liquor license. I said to him, look, you just moved in this community. This is a commercial district down here. We all need to come together and try to get along with one another. I mean, you knew this place was here before you moved here. So if you didn't want to move here, if you didn't want this place here, you should have moved in the neighborhood. He said, Mr. Charles, let me tell you something. What we're going to work to do is change this whole block right here into residential. And even when preachers come to go get her license, we're going to fight that too. And I said, well, I don't like that word from my body. You ain't going to make this residential, because this has been our community for years. I've been in this neighborhood. I moved in this neighborhood when I was 1 year old. My mom bought a house that I lived in down here when I was 1 year old. I grew up here, I was born in the house down on 9th and Illinois Avenue. So I've been in Ward 4 all my life. This is the only house I really know. And this is the only community I really know. And this community, I love this community. I love Bo Sampson and his family. They do a great job in this community. And I think that we need to really stop just talking and really take action and get involved and make sure that our council members, people we elected on, are people that's working for us. In fact, Bo couldn't get his liquor license. But when Randy Todd, a great friend of mine, went to do his celebration here, he pulled a liquor license. Bo had to pull a look like for him. And they let Bo get a one-day license, but that costs a lot of money. And it also took Bo almost 2 to 3 years to get his money back, because he had already paid for the license. And they had already authorized Bo to get the license, but they pulled a little, I don't know what you really call it, but they really didn't get his license because of our mayor we had down. They got involved with keeping Bo from getting his license. That's all I'm going to say, that we need to stop talking and stop, because we do a lot of talking about stuff, but we never take action, and we need to really take action. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. I want to make a correction. The family's in charge. Early Sampson, it's not just me, but he just uses me in the first term because I talk to him Brian most. But the family as a whole, Mike, Gary, and Yolanda, are in the decision making. But a situation like that, what we do, I'm gonna show you what we do. We and my sister, my mom always tell me, you gotta let God get involved. And this brings me to the next situation. In the audience, we have a person that he didn't know he was coming up, but since God's involved, I'd like to say, introduce you guys to Reverend Trice. He has a beautiful church where it's my church, no matter what. And we're going to keep this thing going. The next time that we do this is going to be February 25th. That Saturday is going to be Black History Month. And I plan to bring some people in here that that's very influenced in the Black community. So I need you guys to tell your family, your friends, and keep the business conversation going, because we're not going to be anywhere if we don't work together. Okay.
Angry Black Man in Therapy, how you guys are doing today? All right, so I have a small independent radio station called We Act Radio. I'm in Anacostia on the right side of Martin Luther King Avenue. The corner of MOK Grove Road. Started in January, you will see a banner in front of our studio that says Trump is not welcome here. So you won't be able to miss us. If you haven't heard of us, it's because 6 corporations control most of what we see, hear, and read, and by virtue of that controls most of what we think. Because how many of you have ever repeated the words to a song you know you didn't like the first time you heard it? Just me? No one's hummed the tune that they didn't. Okay, so it just got stuck in your head, right? It's called repetition. And they play the same stink song all day, every day. All right? So the brother who said earlier that, gentrification, not about white folks taking stuff over, and by definition, that is true. That's not what it's defined as. But settlers displacing natives is not new. And what we have here is a cold, calculated process of gentrification where big bank is taking little bank. And it is because of public policy. So if everybody say gentrification, it's cultural genocide. Gentrification is a result of public policy. And when you really chew on that, that's really deep. Genocide, therefore, is a result of public policy. Now, if you want to get informed on how you can best fight this, go check out the Cultural Nominee Show on WMU, November 3rd, it's Gentrification East of the River. I was on that show and I laid down a blueprint, and there's a lot of things that we can do to offset that. There's a lot of things that you don't know that we can do to fight back in that. And I want to leave you with some words here. This is from our newly elected council member, Treon White in Ward 8. He says, "A people who do not build its own institutions will cease to be relevant and will be subservient to those who do." I'm going to repeat that. Our people who do not build its own institutions will cease to be relevant and will be subservient to those that do. That's why they're attacking all of our institutions. If you think it's a joke, go talk to Shallow Baptist Church, who just lost their parking privileges. Well, as long as I can remember, they were allowed to double park on the street on Sunday to get everybody in there. Because a lot of our churchgoers are elders. They can't walk that far to get into their place of worship. And most of them have been displaced. They can't afford to live in this city anymore, so they have to travel to their places of worship. So the settlers that moved in has now rezoned it because they know how the system works. They got clout, they got money, they got resources to go to these meetings and become part of the institutional policy planning. So now that parking is not available, and there are alternatives for them to be in a paid parking garage. Okay? So now that they've been charged to park, they're going to find another place to go to church. And then there's going to be less people in that church, and then that church is going to be unsustainable, and then they get their space. This is how they are systematically going about their business of creating cultural genocide, otherwise known as gentrification. If we, emphasis on we, do not start to work together and empower ourselves, then we will be Black history. And the only thing that will be left is a museum. The Black people were such a wonderful, colorful people. So again, my name is Kimon Freeman. I represent We Act Radio. It is in Anacostia. We have 61,000 listeners nationwide. I hope you will be one of them. Thank you.
How you doing? My name is David Hamilton, and I've lived in the neighborhood for 50 years, who are right at the corner of 5th and Aspen. And I'm a retired urban designer and architect.
And my profession now is I do consulting life, which deals with urban design issues, and I'm also a professional photographer. So those are my two passions now. I wanted to just reiterate something that Brother Ron Austin said earlier in terms of getting involved and, you know, gentrification, the implications on black business, and that whole ball of wax. That's the same dynamic and same argument that has been talked about 30, 40, 50 years ago when I was a student at Howard. Pan-Africanism then. And the theme that you must get involved. It was a good session this morning, though, but when you're on the street and you have to make that decision, you have to, I believe, really start getting involved in the meetings that go on in your neighborhood. Okay, the process of gentrification is a scientific process, and it's happened all over the world. It's not unique to Washington. A new demographic comes in, and they scientifically want to change the environment to fit the things that they like. Okay? And the only way you're going to know, and I've been on every planning committee in the ward up here, from Plan Tacoma, Neighbors Incorporated, whatever. I just don't like politics now, which is why I don't run for any kind of office. But when you sit in these meetings that your neighborhood groups are having, you begin to get an idea of what the thinking is, of what the future is. Somebody will throw an idea out there, and if you don't track on that, the next thing you know, it will be in your front doorstep, like the proposed dog park for the Tacoma Recreation Center area. Okay, and many of the people that I talked to had no idea that this was going on. So I'm just saying, you know, if you hear of a neighborhood meeting, join the neighborhood list to serve, okay, because the new demographic likes to come into a neighborhood that they're colonizing, and the first thing they start is a listserv. And it's typically for the other colonizers who come in. They all share information, okay? But if it's a neighborhood thing, join the listserv. You know, I have several people now that are members of several listservs, and they get current information. Information is power, okay? And I like to look at Empire and everything else that comes on at night. But when these night meetings happen, I am so tired of being the only person of color in a lot of these neighborhood community meetings. Okay, so it's just something to do, and it takes effort to do it. You get home, you're tired, you don't want to do it, but go ahead and do it. I'd also like to make one other announcement. Some of you might remember Neighbors Incorporated, our neighborhood group. It's been around for a number of years. When we moved in this neighborhood 50 years ago, Neighbors Incorporated's focus was to maintain the integrated diversity of the neighborhood. Because everybody who was white at that time, a lot of them rather, were leaving when we were moving in. And now the trend has reversed itself. It's looking like it's beginning to look when we first moved here. So Neighbors Incorporated is resurging itself. So be on the lookout for those to join. They're planning now on how Neighbors is going to come to the forefront again of community organizations. And again, the purposes and underlying principles are still the same, to encourage diverse neighborhoods. And there's also another group called Elder East Rock Creek Village. And for older people like me in this room, East Rock Creek Village is another group that has been started that allows us seniors to stay in our homes as long as we want, and to help us maneuver many things on day-to-day living that seniors may have difficulty with. Getting medications, going to the store, learning how to work your new smartphone, computer, so forth and so on. But they have a cadre of people, again, who you can make a call and they'll come do things for you, do stuff for you. You know, get the groceries out of the car, put them on the shelf, so forth. So again, the big point is just go to the meetings. Go to the meetings and find out where the early ideas happen. Because you can kill an idea early enough. You know, if you catch it at its early stage, you can just abort the idea. You know, because these new people, or the new demographic, has no clue as to the ebb and flow of a lot of the neighborhoods that they're moving into. And they don't have any clue as to those unique things in Washington that make Washington appealing. You know, it's not just the monuments, memorials, and the seat of Congress. It's where we are, people of color. I've been in every state in the union, and there's always a place where people of color live. Same dynamic happened in Harlem. You know, Harlem is very shishi-poo-poo now. Okay? You know, and all I'm suggesting is, you know, the very thing that attracts people, which is basically us, they come in and they want to change that. They take the heart of what's special. So again, if you need anything photographic done, if you need any kind of urban design, architecture, study, stuff like that, that's what I do. That's my plug. Thank you all.
Go around for today to have a great friend. And like you said, man, we go to the meetings and it's only a couple of us. And the youth, they're being blindsided by trying to be reality stars. You know, a lot of that stuff is scripted. I mean, NBA housewives ain't even married to the NBA players. I mean, what's up with that? So we have to kind of train the youth that, kind of let them understand that, what you're seeing ain't always real. And I want to continue to keep this thing going. At least, take an opportunity. So Black History Month is in February, so we're going to do something real special. As long as you guys want to keep this thing going, by show of hands, applause. You guys want to try to do this February? And they made a good point, a dog park, $300,000. If they don't do a dog park, why don't they do a cat park? Because I heard the cats be out and say, man, this ain't fair. If you're going to do one for one, you're going to do it for other. That's right. You have a question or something? Okay. If anybody else wants to speak, you want to speak, sir? Come on down. And then after this, you got refreshments, you network. I want this to be a place where if you got a business, you want to make a connection, this is going to be one of the spots. I mean, we would not be in business if it wasn't for the people. And my family acknowledges that. Okay, sir.
Hi, everyone. I'm David Alvarez, and I wanted to just show solidarity with the family. And I believe, were you on the radio? Yes. Yes. So the only reason I'm here is because I heard this young man on the radio, and I identified with his plight. And I said today I wrote it down while I was driving, and I said I got to make it here just to say hi, and just to be there for the family and what you're going through. I am a transplant from DC. I came here to go to school, and I'm loving the city. It's been quite a few years now I've been in DC. I own and operate a tax prep office on Minnesota Avenue, and I've been here the better part of 10 years from New York originally. So for the better part of 10 years, I've been there, putting in the work, helping the community. It's, as you may know, that Minnesota Avenue can be a very difficult area to navigate. We've had everything from shootings to robberies, you name it, in front of my store. Somebody got stabbed outside, run inside, we call the paramedics. I've tried to usher in young men, teenage men to come in and apply for jobs. When one of the major retailers were here, I made my own flyers and handed out to the young brothers standing inside of the plaza. So I've been here through the rough times. Now things are turned around in the city, and I get to understand that the property is being sold, and I'm being pushed out. And so this is something that's going on throughout the city. And it's primarily, I think, affecting people of color. Chocolate City is much different from now when I came in the early 90s. So I just think that we have to support one another. I'm going through not exactly the same thing you all are probably going through, but I may be displaced probably. They're going to probably rip down the place and build apartments, condos upstairs, retail space down below that I probably can't afford. The reason actually my brother Ibrahim Bookman came down, we just actually left the Ward 7 summit meeting. It's a focus group. And I just felt like I needed to be there, but I also wanted to cut out early to come up here to meet the family and say hi, to connect. Maybe we can get together on a listserv. Maybe we could start something that would all plugged in together. And actually, Brother Ethan, would you like to say a few words? He's a community organizer. He has been around for a long time. I'm a community economic development consultant. Some of you know I see my friend from WEAC, the radio station. But I live in Shaw, and we went through a lot of things. Some of you know what Shaw was. When I moved to Shaw, it was drive-by shootings, drug sales, and when I moved to the house I'm in now, it was 4 doors from headquarters for drug sales in Shaw. That was in the early 80s. Well, I don't have to tell you what's there now if you keep up with real estate assessments in the neighborhood. But in my family, my wife is the only girl. She has 4 brothers. And when I met her brothers, the year after we moved in, they got upset with me. They wanted to know why did I move their sister to the ghetto, to Shaw. And I said, that's not the ghetto. I said, this is a rich history in this black neighborhood. And it's going to, it's very valuable, but, people don't see it now because when we moved in, the white middle class and the black middle class was leaving. They said, well, you got it wrong. And I said, no. They said, why don't you move? And I said, I'll move when they move the White House and the Capitol. And they said, well, that's crazy. I said, well, it's crazy because they're not going to move the White House and the Capitol. I said, they're faking you out because I've seen the plans for Shaw. They're going to redevelop it and you won't be able to come back. Guess who was right? So my story is to stay and to organize, and the brother who's the planner and the photographer is absolutely right. In a democracy, it's not a good idea for you to get involved. It's obligatory for you to get involved. Because if you're not sitting at the table, you're going to be on the menu. That's all I got to say. Are you guys hungry? All right, I got somebody in the house, boy, she can make it. I'm going to let you get up there too, but we got somebody in the house that, boy, she can cook like you wouldn't believe. DC, put your hands together for Miss Peaches. Come on over here and say something to Peaches. She has a restaurant right across the street. And she works with us. She's supported us so much, man, we couldn't do without her.
Good evening, everyone. It really pleases my eye to see so many of you here. It's really great to come out and support the Thompsons. I came to this neighborhood 10 years ago to do business, and it wasn't my choice, actually. I was over in Minnesota Avenue, a gentleman, but unbelievable, I inspired the young people, so therefore, they didn't start to call me mom, and I had pulled out my house, and they just loved it because they said, this is the best thing that ever happened to them. So, like you move over to Shaw, and they said, why did you go to the ghetto? That's the same thing they said to me when I moved over on 9th Street. Because the jump outs, the special cops was just jumping out, everything was going on. And they said to me, they said, why you moved here? And I work in Potomac, Maryland, in an affluent neighborhood. And they would say, where do you live? And I said, southeast, northeast. They said, what are you doing over there? And I said, you know what? They have to move the capital. It still sits in Southeast, and most of these folks grew up over Anacostia, live out of Anacostia and all of that. So just like this neighborhood, the Thompsons are here, we really need to support them. As business, small business people, as African Americans, I'm an African American by way of immigration. So I call myself a Jamaican. So, it's when you have property, like where I live now, and people were saying it was a ghetto, I can't stop taking on sale, people asking to buy my property. I can't stop seeing people come knocking up on my door and say, are you selling? And I'm like, do you see a sale sign, get off my property? So just like the Thompsons, there is a lot of underlying stuff that's going on that we don't know about, you're not gonna be, if you're gonna just wishy-washy and say you're gonna stand by Mr. Sampson when stuff is good, you gotta stand there. You're gonna have to take a lot of heat. You're gonna have to lose something in order for somebody else to gain. But in the end, you're gonna be satisfied. You're gonna go to bed and you're gonna have a good sleep. Okay? Because you've done the right thing. Okay? So stand firm. Stay fast. Don't listen to all that you hear. Listen to what you don't hear. Remember, this is not about alcohol. This is about this property needs to change hands. Okay? I'm going to tell you a little bit of something that I noticed. First, it was just sitting because his dad used to just sit out there because he was sick. He would come early in the morning, he would sit out there, he would take in the sun, and then he would leave. As soon as he passed away, not very long after, the problem was it's unoccupied property. It started like that. And he came over and he talked to me. I said, that's not going to be it. So they said, okay. So they decided to renovate a beautiful, beautiful job, you know. And then after that, put the nice parking, where, you know, the weddings and the reception, and you have the tent. I thought it was so beautiful. Then it all began. You don't have parking. We went to all the meetings, and I said, wait a minute. If I have a whole group here, there's going to be a problem with parking. If Coolidge has a game, all of us have a problem with parking. If the National Children's Center has something, there is a group with parking. Let's get together. Mr. Sampson agreed that anytime he's going to have an event, he will let everybody know. He even offered to put cones so that people who pass on the street can secure their parking spot. That couldn't be a topic anymore. Then he goes to the alcohol. Then he goes to the ANC. Then he passes. And then he goes behind closed door and he turned down. Now tell me, is that a problem with alcohol? He was spray painting his beautiful building. This family has gone through a lot. So you have to look and say, there is more reason behind it. This place is designed to be, if you don't know, a home and garden center for the neighborhood. So, if you complain, they complain about this, complain about that. But I tell Mr. Sampson, if it was me, I'd put a whole big spiritual church in here. All the folks come. They're jumping out of the room and they party park out here. Are you going to tell God to move? Are you going to tell God to move? Are you going to tell God people to move? So folks, listen. I have a small restaurant over there, so, you know, I'm Peaches Kitchen, and I'm but I would always stand firm with the Sampsons because I don't want to listen to what people say. I read what people do.
Tyson. One thing, Ron mentioned the equitable development resolution, or gentrification resolution, if you want to call it that. It was designed to promote education in water, as well as try to keep predatory policies from being used against renters and against homeowners. Through oversight, it did not include things for businesses. And so one of the things I'm going to ask Bo to do is try to organize you guys so that he can participate in getting that as part of the equitable development resolution that 4B is going to try to pursue. But the basic idea relevant to what I'm hearing here today is one of the things
trying to go after is the predatory use of legal policy to drive development that drives black people out of the area. But not that these other people have said and Doug Sloan was trying to push. We need for there to be organization, and at the end of the day, there need to be voters. This is not going to work just because it's a nice idea. It's going to work, if at all, because there will be enough voters that whether or not the developers put money in people's pockets, if they put them in the pocket and the council votes the wrong way, there are voters who put them out of office and send a signal. So I'm going to ask folks to try to organize this, these people as voters or as participants, and I'm hoping to deal with you to build up the development resolution so that Andre, et cetera, can try to push that as something that will be pushed to the council.
February 25th, 1 to 3, we're going to do it again, it's Black History Month, and we're going to make sure we have some people that have influence in the black community at that meeting. And at this, I'd like to thank WPFW for giving us such support on this, this meeting. They really pushed it. And also WHUR also helped us out. But this final time, I'd like to bring the president of the NAACP up, and I would like her to speak. Because of her, we're able to do this, and I just want to say thank you.
Thanks, Bo. Well, I wasn't expecting to say anything because Doug Sloan was actually representing the NAACP today, so can we give him a warm round of applause? So I want to thank the VIP room, thank Bo, thank you all. As you all may know, one of the priorities for the NAACP is to strengthen the black dollar and support black-owned businesses within the District of Columbia. Particularly under these economic and political times, what's happening across the nation, across the country, what we have to emphasize is what we can count on is ourselves, our own dollars, and our own communities. So this is the time when you cannot rely on anyone else, and you feel you cannot rely on elected officials or the climate or anywhere else. You can trust yourself, and you can trust the ability to mobilize and organize within the community to demand what it is that you feel you need within your community. And that starts at home. That starts investing in black-owned businesses. That starts with identifying black-owned institutions to invest in, that you can open a bank, that you can patron one another. We have many black-owned business owners in this room that can do business with one another. I know, of course, we have Peaches that was here. I'm the daughter of an entrepreneur. My father, Kofi Tyus, right back there, who owns a black-owned greeting card company and is an artist. But I know there's many other entrepreneurs in the room that if we are able to mobilize, communicate, and network with one another, we can build an empire that is able to support one another, employ one another. We have $1.2 trillion of buying power within the African American community. You don't have to wait for anyone to do something for you when we have the power amongst ourselves to be able to invest in our own, hire our own, promote our own, build wealth within our own communities, educate our own, and empower our own. So we need to build empower within ourselves. We need to build empower within ourselves so that we are motivated to be able to empower and uplift our own communities. So if there's anyone at times, that might feel hopeless or might feel disenfranchised when you do not feel the climate may represent your interests, this is the time to feel empowered. This is the time to feel that you are in control, because you are in control of your finances, you're in control of your dollars, and if we as a community cannot come together and invest in our own, we cannot hold anyone else accountable. We can't hold ourselves accountable. So thank you all so much for coming out, and thank you both.
Thank you so much. That was a pleasure. Okay, guys, thank you for coming. Remember February 25th,